What's up, everyone, and welcome to Project X Talk. Today, we're back with another Game Pass in review. Today, we're taking a look at the hotly anticipated and well-received title, Forza Horizon 5. I'm Kevin, aka the Muffin Mon, and I'm joined, it's a two-person review today, by Tom. Tom, how you doing?
Doing good. I'm, curious to see what your impressions are.
That's right. Yeah, we don't normally do two-person reviews. I think we've done one other one,
Yeah, I think
the
it was just the
medium.
medium. Yeah.
Yeah. Normally they're solo episodes, but Forza massive release for Xbox, launching into Game Pass, so we had to do a Game Pass in review for it. So we're just gonna jump right into it. I want to start off your overall impressions on Forza Horizon 5.
Overall impressions, this game is amazing. If you've never played a Forza game, you should play this one. That's as easy as I can get it.
I would agree. I've never played a Forza game, and I jumped in this one after the reviews and the hype, and my friend was like really into it, so I was like, all right, I'll give it a try. You can play co-op. I'll download it, Game Pass. And I'm really surprised at how much I enjoy this game and like how much it actually got its hooks in me. And it's like I could play something else, or I could like put Forza on and go do some races. And I don't know, something about it is like the gameplay is very simple, but it's also very addictive and like fun. And it doesn't give me the sense of like dread like other open world games do. So I'm really enjoying my time with it. I'm like level 25, so I put a decent amount of hours in, not like other people who are at 100. But I think I've established all the outposts, and I'm working my way towards the end of the story. But yeah, I really like the game, and this is my first Forza. So compared to Forza Horizon 4, what are the biggest like upgrades for you?
The map. I honestly enjoy Mexico a whole lot more than I believe the last one was in. I think it was the United Kingdom.
Yeah, it's the UK.
So right off the bat, like I can drive on the right side of the road, like us Americans are used to. So that was one of the biggest changes, and I was like, yes, finally. But besides that, it's standard Forza affair. I think the biggest improvement is the fact that now there's multiple different Horizon sites. Where in the previous game there was only one Horizon site, and that's where you can fast travel to at one point. Now there's multiple scattered around,
Hmm.
all centralized with different specialties. Like one's good for like danger zones, one's good for street races, cross country. So you don't have to go, go unlock all of them if you don't want to. Really, just play the way you want, whatever you feel like wherever you have the most fun. Where like if it's
Hmm.
danger zones or cross country, go do that stuff.
Yeah. I think that's one thing that really surprised me was how different every type of race actually felt from one another. Where maybe it's the type of cars I find enjoyable to drive in this game. I tend to like I think the Acura is what I can't remember the specific model, but like Acura, I'm driving those high end like sports cars that aren't really meant for off road. So I find myself gravitating more towards the street races and less of doing cross country and the off-road stuff, which compared to some friends of mine who they really like the off-road stuff. They really like the, drifting in the dirt and going across these jumps. Meanwhile, I'm like, no, give me street races. I'm perfectly fine with that. That is what feels good to me in this game. But I'm doing a bit of everything, giving everything a chance. And each car for me does feel different. In major ways. Like they all obviously handle very different, but like they sound different. And I don't know. It's just this is the best car. This is the best racing game for me since like Burnout back in the 360 days, probably back when I used to actually play racing games.
That's a good shout.
Yeah. No, I mean, like I said, first time Forza player, and I'm really impressed with this game. I want to know, like, is there how do you feel about the battle pass? That's like a hot topic right now, obviously with Halo, their battle pass integration. There is it even called the battle pass in Forza? It's like a season pass or something, right?
Yeah, the season pass every week. I believe they rotate out to a new set of cards you can go through and go ahead and unlock. Uh, I don't mind this at all. In terms of like general feels of normal battle passes, this gives you something to work towards. You know what cars you can go for that end of that week. So if you're not really interested in any of those vehicles, you don't have to really, try to force yourself to complete them. Like right now, they have a new Civic Mugen CRX on there, and that's what I'm gonna
Hmm.
hunt for in the autumn season. In the last season, I went for the DeLorean, but I didn't go for like the top. There was like two tiers of cars. There was a DeLorean
Yeah.
and another one. I didn't bother going for the other one because I had no interest. And you just play at your own pace. It's not really like a battle pass. You're not locked in. Like you don't have to go out and out of your way and like buy like a premium bundle to
Okay.
be able to get those cars. So it works well.
Yeah, I think that's a part of the game I asked that I'm still kind of figuring out because I saw the season stuff and I've seen like a shop in there and I didn't really understand like what it's for. But for me, like part of the enjoyment for Forza I'm finding is just collecting cars. I don't know why. Maybe it's like I used to collect trading cards back in the day, and it's kind of like a digital form of a trading card, but you can like drive, you can actually do something with these. You can drive them around. So I know like lots of people have this. Like my friends collecting Porsche. I are you collecting Mitsubishi? Is that what you said you were collecting?
Pretty much just any Japanese car. I
Yeah.
have
Okay.
that's my thing. And I not like the top tier sport cars. Because I normally race on my steering wheel that's right behind me.
Hmm.
And racing sports cars at really high speeds on that thing,
It's
it's
thrilling.
still really hard because you have to. It's a way different control. Like, I'll stick to the slower cars, please.
Hmm. That's funny because I'm like, how do I make this car go as fast as possible? And I'm a weirdo. I put it in kilometers per hour, and like my distance is in kilometers because I was like, I need the metric system.
Oh no.
Even like in real life, I drive in miles per hour, but like kilometers makes more sense for distance for me. That's just a weird thing I do. So, but on my friends, I'm like, I'm going 495, and they're like miles per hour. I'm like, not kilometers per hour. Like that's it's like 270, something like that.
I'm disappointed in you. But no, the when I switched it early over to early access, when I swapped over to Australia, I kept it over on kilometers per hour because that's what it defaulted me to. It's
Mm,
like whatever, I'll just switch back when I switch regions tomorrow back to miles. It's not really an issue.
mhm.
I did the same thing in Horizon 4. I played that one in kilometers per hour because it made sense. I'm in United Kingdom,
Yep.
right?
That one does make yeah, that one does make sense. I want to shift gears here. Forza Horizon 5, mostly probably people playing it single player, but there is a multiplayer aspect. There's lots of multiplayer you can do in this game, and I had no idea that you could do so many activities multiplayer. You can, well, now that the hot fix is out, originally, I've been trying for 2 weeks and failing to play multiplayer, but now that the hot fix is out, you can do races co-op. You get into put like a little team where you verse the rest of the people, and you gotta get more points than them depending on where you finish. But there are other multiplayer game modes. I know there's the Eliminator, which is like a battle royale type mode. Have you jumped into that at all?
I had not even tried that in the last game. I
Mm.
I had no interest in a car battle royale. I have no idea how it works, honestly.
Okay, so the from my understanding of the Eliminator, because I also haven't jumped into it, but I've heard someone talk about it, is you all start in like crappy Volkswagen Beetles or something, like really slow cars, and you have a circle closing in on you, and you have to basically challenge another driver to like a drag race almost, like get to point A to point B the fastest, but along the way there will be drops of faster cars, so you want to like get the faster car and then beat them to the point and they'll get eliminated while like the circle's closing in. That is
It actually
roughly
sounds
my understanding.
interesting.
Yeah, roughly my understanding from what I've heard other people talk about. I haven't tried it myself yet though, because again, battle royale is not my thing.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the other big online mode in this is probably the playground games. Have you tried any of those?
Yes, I did. I actually the event labs. Yeah, I
Yeah.
did. I jumped into those. I did one where you drove through a bunch of pinatas and bowling pins and like confetti was flying everywhere. It wasn't so much. It wasn't difficult in any way, but it was like it was fun. It was an exciting little experience to drive through.
Yeah, I'm glad that in this one they're making it a little bit more focused on that fun aspect. That kind of event lab thing didn't come out until like the tail end of Forza Horizon 4, so there wasn't like too much that you can do really with it.
Hmm.
The implementation in this game it's so much better. Like the bowling stuff that you can do with the cars,
Yeah.
it's just stupid fun. Like this game has something for everyone.
That's so true though. Like I'm not the person that's going to go check off every single race. Like I have a buddy who loves the checklist of open worlds. That's not me. I'm going to find what I like to do and do that. But there is something here for everyone. That, like I said, there's different types of races. And even in multiplayer, if neither of those sounded interesting, there is more multiplayer. There's like an infection type game mode. Have you jumped into that?
I have. I played that one in one of the Playground online games.
Hmm.
There's also Capture the Flag, which is
I
a
haven't
pretty
played
interesting
Capture
one.
the Flag. I haven't
Yeah,
played Capture the Flag. I've played Infection, where like a team is zombies and then a team is survivors, and you're in Ford F-150s and you got to ram each other.
yeah.
It's a little entertaining for sure. I think I prefer just doing races with my friends. You know, finding events that maybe one of us haven't done, and then just racing. Because even though you're on a team, I like to try to beat my friend and like smash them off the road.
Of course, bragging rights too.
Yeah, absolutely. I so do you think this game has earned its 92, 91 on Metacritic?
Easily.
Yeah.
This is the best Forza Horizon game I've ever played. In terms of like top racing games, this would be right in my top three. There's no reason this game deserves at least a 95 to 100 in most critics out there that
Mhm.
like these kind of genres. Uh, if it was me, I'll talk about that after.
Yeah, no, I think as someone that's new to the series, I can definitely see, even though racing isn't my preferred genre of games, this game is so accessible to everyone and does offer something for everyone. And it's just a lot of fun. Like it's simple, it's enjoyable to play. So I can completely understand, and it's bug free. Like apart from the server issues, which aren't even a bug, like that was just something on their end. I've encountered zero glitches, zero bugs. The game is absolutely gorgeous. I think that's really understated. I'm playing in performance mode. Are you playing in performance?
Yes.
Yeah, still gorgeous, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's some popping, but that's to be expected.
Hmm.
But it still looks really good, especially when you're up close. You see all the grains of rocks on the floor when you're
Yeah,
driving through the canyons. It looks amazing.
yeah. I will say this game has probably the best motion blur of any game. I normally turn motion blur off, and I don't even think you can in this one. But like, it's enjoyable. Like, it's a good implementation of motion blur, especially when you're hitting those high speeds. That's really when I was worried that I was like hurting my eyes. But you wanted to bring something up. You were gonna say?
Oh no, I was gonna bring my score. But I'm gonna save that to the end.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, what else? What else you want to talk about Forza here?
I guess I more want to talk about like what my favorite aspects of the game were in terms of like
Okay.
my favorite events, which
Yeah, sure.
were road races and street races were my main thing, just
Same.
sort of like yours. I don't mind dirt races with rally cars because they're a centralized track. Not really a huge fan of cross country because there's no tracks there, it's just kind of markers and you're just going everywhere down hills.
Hmm.
So I do like the road races the most, just because it makes it feel a little bit more like normal Forza Motorsports, which is what I'm more used to because that's my favorite genre for a motorsports game.
Hmm.
So I like the more centralized, closed maps or race tracks,
Yeah.
and it works really well in this game. Honestly, the events in this are solid. Drifting. Have you tried any drifting yet?
Yeah, I've done. I like drifting. Drifting feels good in this game. As long as you're doing it with the appropriate vehicle. Because if you're doing a street car and try to drift in the sand, you're just gonna spin in a circle.
Oh, not even just in the sand. Have you drifted on the road yet?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
no.
yeah.
So yeah, I find those drift zones really fun to do. I just keep going right back and forth until I get like 3 stars, and I don't think I've 3 starred any besides one right now because my cars aren't really like tuned for drifting perfectly.
Mm,
I love the speed zones as well. I find that one the most challenging because like they give you what sometimes it's like you have to go 200 miles per hour within a specific area zone like
hmm.
of a map, but there's like 4 corners you have to turn around in, and it's so hard to maintain your speeds. but it's such a fun challenge once you actually pull it off. It's so you feel excited or like you feel like you achieve something every time you get like the 3 stars, every time you get like the first places. Once you're on the pedestal, this game is just amazing.
Yeah. I haven't gotten 3 stars on anything yet. And every time I do is I like the speed traps. Drifting is fine. I like the speed traps and I like the danger jumps. I think those are probably my 2 favorite. I haven't gotten 3 stars on any of them, and every time I get my star, whatever 1 or 2, whatever I come in at, it always feels the need to tell me like who on my friends list is like doing better than me, and I'm just like, all right, I get it. I don't know how they're going that fast. I don't know how they're hitting that jump. Like they're clearly better than me, game. I get it. But I will say, I have explored so many. Like I think you might have passed me now, but I was ahead of you in like roads and areas explored for a little bit there.
Yeah, I've seen that. I was like,
Yeah.
he's actually playing this game, the newbie.
Yeah, yeah. I'm putting my time in. I'm enjoying it. Have you another feature? Have you done any of the drive-atar races? Have you challenged any of those like the random drive-atars that you see?
No, I was never a fan of that. Not even Horizon 4.
Really?
One of the issues I have with it really is it's like pointing to point B races,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of the times you can just literally just go off road
Yeah.
to get to your point, and my cars aren't tuned for that, so there's no reason I'm not even gonna bother racing these guys at that point because they're just gonna cheat, and I can't
Yep.
do anything about it.
Yeah, that's actually a good point you brought up because I was gonna say like there have been a few races where I'm like, there's no way I can get to that point like going on the roads. So then I'm like, I'm just going off. I'm just gonna go off the roads and my little GPS, the little arrows. Do you play with the arrows on, or are you good?
No, I
I
play with them on. Yeah,
I
they're
play with the
really,
arrows on.
yeah, they're needed because honestly, without them, you're not gonna really know too much when you have to slow down and you're just
Yeah, yeah,
increasing
yeah.
the difficulty by that much more. It's not worth it.
Yeah, I'd have my friend explain to what like the different colors meant of the arrows, and once I learned that system, really does help. So like yellow is slow down a little. Red is like hit the brake.
Like,
You
yeah,
want
hit the
to
brake, you're gonna hit a wall.
hit the brake. Yeah, if you see red arrows. So for anyone out there maybe struggling to get around those corners, if you see those arrows, that's what they mean because that is a critical part of the game in my opinion. Um, the only other thing I want to touch on is the wheel spins and like the leveling up of cars. I understand why they're doing it. They want to like give you a reason to play each car and like kind of feel like you're progressing while you're driving. I like that system. I don't know how I feel about the wheel spins, and maybe it's just me having really bad RNG. I have never gotten a car from the wheel spin.
No car at all,
Just
not even common
I have
ones.
gotten 0 cars from the wheel spin, and my friends find this completely impossible, and I was like, "Guys, I've only gotten money.
Dude, you're the most unluckiest person ever.
I only I've
I've
gotten
gotten multiple
horns."
legendary cars. I got like
Nope.
millions of dollars from this stuff.
You can check my achievements too, because there's an achievement for like getting one like from a wheel spin or something. I only get money, and it's like 100 to 300,000 is like I'm getting those wheel spins, and then I'll get occasional like emotes or horns, and I'm like, I just want the car. Give me the car. I will say I do want the Banjo Kazooie horns. I saw that and I was like, they show up in the wheel spins. They show up in some event that's coming up. I want those horns because I want to know what they sound like. I hope it's like a good while I'm driving or so like some. It's probably not. It's probably like Spiral Mountain music, which might be actually what it is. But I love that they have those little Easter eggs for other Xbox franchises in the game.
Yeah. So in the last game, and is one of the things I didn't want them to bring back over. I don't like wheel spins that much. It just adds an extra layer of RNG that's I feel like it's not really necessary. So I'd
Mhm.
rather be able to go ahead and unlock some of these like Forza Edition cars by doing specific challenges within the game and not really having to rely on that RNG. Uh, I guess the big perk, if you do land on one of those cars and they're rare, you can sell it for a lot of money in the auction house to profit.
The auction house ain't even like okay. So in the auto shop, the most expensive car is like 30 million or 45 million or something.
Yeah.
Well, you can get those cars for like you can snipe them on the auction house. Like it's really not that hard to get those like much cheaper than what you buy them for.
Yeah, and it's honestly better because when if you have that car, if you pay the 30,000 credits, if you try to sell it back yourself, you're not gonna make that much money back
Mhm.
anyway. So you're gonna get a profit. So the true value of the cars is within the auction house itself.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's definitely the place to go if you're trying to get some cars from cheap.
I did you get the free car voucher
Yes,
that
and I have not used it yet.
I used it on the 30 or $45 million car or whatever because I was like, I'm never going to collect that much money. And I sure as hell wouldn't spend it on this car. So I'm going to use the voucher and then use my money on things I actually care about.
I have no idea when I'm going to use it. I might never use it because I'm going to always have it in the back of my mind. I might need this one day.
Mm. Do they add more cars or is this like, are all the cars that are going to be in the game?
They do occasionally add new cars throughout like the months,
Hmm.
but we'll see. I don't know about in terms of the auto show itself. Normally, the new cars they bring on are through the challenges,
Hmm.
so I really wouldn't need the money anyways at that point because I just
Gotcha.
get them free.
Gotcha. Well, as long as they have designs I can put on them because I'm decking all my cars out in anime girls. And no reason why. They're just there. People spend their time making these designs, and I was like, I gotta do this.
And I've
So
tried making those. It's hard. It's hard.
something in me just laughs when I think about like Sean Capri or like even you driving by my Drivatar, and then I'm just sitting there in like my Acura Paimon car from Genshin Impact or some weird anime girl. So it just brings a little joy to my life.
And that's the thing about this game. It's just it adds creativity, it adds fun. If you don't like those designs as well, you can turn them off for everyone else if you don't want to see that kind of stuff. So even
Mm,
if that's not your cup of tea and you want to see just normal cars looking how they're supposed to, you can do that as well. So, I mean, honestly, this game is just so flexible.
yeah, that's a good word. Okay, we're gonna wrap it up. If you had to give a rating to Forza Horizon 5, what would you throw on it?
9 out of 10.
9 out of 10. I think I would sit at a nine as 8.59 ish as well, depending on how much you like racing games. Um, because I don't know if I'll stick with this long term, but if you really like these types of games, I would say it's probably in the 9 category. It's a definite recommend for me. Like I've kind of moved away from using scores in my reviews, but it's a definite recommend. Everyone should go play Forza Horizon 5. If you haven't, if you're not one of the 9+ million people that have jumped in, which is phenomenal numbers.
It's on PC, it's on Xbox, it's on cloud. Go try Forza Horizon 5.
Absolutely. We're gonna end it there, guys. Thank you for checking out the review. If you liked it, make sure to like, share, subscribe. We're on every audio service, and come check out the podcast live every Thursday at 5 p.m. Until next time, we will see you.
Bye.